Hello witches, my name is Luca. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another EA house renovation. So today we are renovating the Spencer Kim Lewis house. What is this house called? I forgot what this house is called actually. It is called Cypress Terrace. It is located on a 40 by 30. Yes, I had to double check. It's located on a 40 by 30 lot here in the beautiful world of Willow Creek. Now, let's keep this little intro short, sweet, to the point. This house is a mess. It definitely, I see what they were going for with this home for sure. They wanted to go for like modern, eclectic kind of vibes. You know, Alice is an artist. Ignore the police uniform. Do not know why she's in that. And I know what they were going for, but it's just so big and so empty and like kind of awkward, and just the furnishing it's very base game 2014, which is when it was released, so it makes sense. I make quite a few changes, but in this renovation, I do not change any of the walls whatsoever. I just move some stuff around here and there. And yeah, there's their attempt of hiding the fact that we didn't have pools on release, which is kind of funny. But yeah, it was a pretty fun renovation. I kept the concepts all the same. I just kind of made it a little bit nicer. But yeah, let's go ahead and let's jump on into the renovation. I'm going to be 100% transparent with you all. I have wanted to renovate this home for years. Ever since even getting the base game by itself back in the day, I saw this home and I was like, this has definitely got some quirkiness. It's got some charm. It's got good bones. But the problem with it was just the execution. Now, I'm just going to tell you too, here in the beginning, I did a lot of going back and forth between making the wall heights medium, short, all that stuff. I left them at medium just because that's what they were at. And yeah, I do a lot of flip-flopping back and forth. So forgive me if the editing in the beginning of this video is a little bit odd. It's a little bit back and forth. I was just trying to figure it out. But basically, with this home, I wanted it to be a bit more creative looking. I wanted it to be a little bit more like a really old house that was just renovated into something that was, fresh and quirky and charming. And I don't know. I've always seen Alice as a bit of an artist. So I can see that being being reflected in this home. I wanted it to just be very, I wanted there to be more lightness and charm and thriftiness. I don't know. I wanted the vibes to be different. So I do kind of, spend some time trying to figure out this exterior, and I do really like how it looks in the end because the colors of the home were mainly like white, blue, and green. And I wanted to kind of keep that color scheme alive. I wanted to kind of carry it through, but I wanted to update it. I wanted to make it a little bit more just nicer, a little less, jarring to the eyes. And I did do a lot of landscaping and doing like a pergola there over the front porch. Listen, the footage, my video would have been an hour long if I didn't edit that out. So it took me that long to figure it out, honestly. But yeah, you can see I did quite a bit of landscaping. All of this is show live edit objects, so it won't be in the way of your Sims. And I will say I made this a lot easier on myself to do whenever I use the Better Build Buy mod by Twisted Maxi. I will leave that linked in the description down below. Basically, it organizes all of the objects in the game a little bit nicer, and like the show live edit objects, it makes them, be organized throughout the catalog, so you don't have to like do that awkward searching, debug in the search bar and then kind of scrolling through a million objects before you find the one bush that you can use. And you can also shift click and clone items, and it's a lot nicer. This front porch area is pretty simple. Again, this whole home, I wanted to make sure I didn't go completely overboard with it, but as you can see, the video is 42 minutes. Well, it's probably going to be a little bit more than that. It's going to be around 43, 44 minutes long at this point, I think. So yeah, it took took me a little bit of time. But there's one thing about this home that I really liked was this kind of like pointed section on the right. You can see it used to be just those really big, windows, but I changed it to these, these controversial windows that were advertised in the industrial loft kit. That window drama. At least I hope you do. Oh, and the stairs. Like, there's just so many things in this build that were just so confusing to me. Like, the window placements were weird. The staircase on the first floor here, it was just so awkwardly placed. Like, I don't know. I didn't like it. It was just, it was really it was a really wide staircase, which is fine, but you can like see under it. And that just feels so awkward to me. And I just didn't understand why they did that. There's just a lot of little things that just kind of left me asking a lot of questions. Like, this living room just seems so like dark and bland. And so I made sure that the style of this home was bright and inviting and mismatched and quirky. And I don't know, I just wanted it to feel fun, and I feel like that's the goal of this, because Alice, for me at least, I feel like Alice is like the leader of this household, in my opinion. She just seems like she's in charge around here, and she makes a lot of the decisions for the home, and just, the styles and all that good stuff. I can definitely see her being a regular of the flea market in San Myshuno. Not necessarily because they need to, because they definitely have a lot of simoleons. As you can see here, after doing a bit of renovation, I'm at 74,000. I actually kind of got nervous a few times in, because I wasn't like selling just everything. Like, I'm weird when it comes to renovating homes right now. I find it easier for me to just jump in instead of going through and demolishing like every little window, getting rid of all the items. I'd rather just kind of go it a little bit at a time, and it kind of helps me a little bit, keeps me from being overwhelmed. But what's funny is that like so many times I was like, oh my gosh, I'm almost out of simoleons. I would go to another room, and then there would be so many like super ridiculous expensive things. Like, they had in the top floor it's like this open landing that's kind of like an office space, I guess. There was like multiple computers. There was this grand piano for some reason. I don't know. I just feel like, I don't know. It's just a little weird, I guess. But anyways, this downstairs, as you walk in, is the lovely little living room. It's very light. It's got a lot of like light beiges, soft, shades of green. But I really love the way that I used the couch here. It's just this base game Victorian looking couch. I made it this like intense green swatch, and I kind of love it. It makes it kind of like a centerpiece to the whole room. I don't know. I like it. And plus it just kind of gives me like vibes that she like upcycles like old furniture or something. And I kind of jump around in this build, I will say. I don't remember exactly the order in which that I did these rooms, so bear with me. But it took me quite a few days to do this renovation, just because these homes are kind of crazy big. Like, some of them are too big. Like, that's one critique I have of EA's homes, aside from, their execution and their style and their decor and their colors and, mostly everything. I would say one of my critiques, though, above anything, is just the houses are just too dang big. Like, they're just so big, they're so open, and honestly, that makes them much more expensive than they need to be. Like, I know at least a lot of starter homes, like, if you just make the rooms just like a couple tiles smaller, you're still going to get just as much functionality, but you're also going to save like several hundreds, if not thousands, of simoleons, and it just makes it a lot easier on your Sims. Are there any other homes in The Sims 4 that you always find yourself renovating, or you find yourself like wanting to renovate? Because this has always been the home for me. It has always been this house. I don't know what it is. It's just been so intriguing to me, and I just was like, you know what? I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to grit my teeth and cross my fingers and hope and pray, do a reading of my tarot cards and just pray. No, not really. But yeah, was really like scared. But once I got started, I was like, okay, I'm feeling it. It's working. I'm doing the thing, y'all. It's coming naturally, and I'm kind of surprised. Spoiler, I forgot to do this bathroom here. This little bathroom that is underneath, like the entrance to it is underneath the stairs on the first floor here. I completely forgot that bathroom existed. And so it's just the way that it is. And you know what? That's fine. It's fine. I'm not going back. The toilet is probably the really expensive toilet too. So I would have saved plenty of simoleons if I had just fixed that bathroom. I might still do that before I upload this to the gallery, so keep an eye out. There is this dining room downstairs, and it has like a bar and everything, and so I kind of kept it the same idea. I just made it a little bit more fun. I used this chair that we actually received in a update, I think, recently-ish, sort of. And it's this really nice chair, actually. It has some really good colors and just good swatches. It has a nice texture. I think it's kind of expensive. That's the only thing. But it makes sense here, I think, especially. And I used it with that table that Harry worked on. Hey, Harry here in the Sims community. She was one of the creators that got the chance to make some content for the Sims 4 base game. And she had this table here, and honestly, I love this table. It's so nice. And then I did just kind of a nice little feature wall here above the fireplace in the dining room with just a bunch of mirrors. I thought that was kind of cool, right? We only have so many, bits of art in this game, so I was like, I gotta just make it creative. And I can see this being a very creative space for Alice. I feel like she made some of the stuff, or maybe she just collected it over the years. It did take me a bit of, adjusting, because I did have to put in a bar in here, because I was like, it has to have a bar. It's a big dining room. It's just asking for it. But there isn't a big bar. It's just a regular, like, little one here. And I think that works. I think it does the job. And yeah, cute. I like all the mismatched colors. Next is the kitchen. And look at the simoleons rack in, y'all. There were so many simoleons to be made from this. But the kitchen was a bit of an awkward one, because how I created it, or how I renovated it, is I wanted there to be a lot more light. I wanted there to be a lot more spaces to kind of walk around. I wanted it to just be a little bit more open, because I felt like it was quite closed off. And so I put in a door to the little private garden out here, as well as a door to the side. I'm going to call it the guest house, because I believe this is actually where Dennis sleeps. It's his bedroom, and he has his own bathroom in there. Dennis being Alice's dad, who I see being a gardener and just a very, very chill guy. I don't know. But do I work on this first? I can't remember. Maybe I do. I don't remember. But I do add these really interesting arch windows here. I thought these would be kind of fun, just to kind of add some charm to the home. Maybe they came with the house originally or something. But basically with this kitchen, I wanted it to be a little bit different. I didn't want it to just be a normal kitchen. So I actually put the countertops where they prepare food and everything right in the middle of the actual kitchen. It's like a giant island, and there isn't like countertops against the wall. There's like one little corner space where the refrigerator is with like a coffee pot and stuff, but the rest of it is all on that island. And I actually really like that concept. It makes a lot of sense for this home. And of course I kept the counters just a bright white clean vibe, and I do experiment a little bit with it, but I do edit that out just because I didn't want it to be too crazy. And it was a vibe. It was a vibe though. I really, really like this kitchen. It's very open. It's very like convivial, because I can see, people preparing food, and then on the other side of the counter here, which you can see me here, attempting to do this thing with like the wall, and I edited out me actually making it, so but then I got rid of it. So yeah, but I really quite like how it looks though in the end. It's kind of interesting in here. It's very open and convivial. I can see people preparing food and then talking to their guests while they just sit there and just kind of chat. I don't know. What do you think? I really like it. I think I went with a really fun checkered, colors in the on the flooring here. I thought that was a nice way to implement some bright color, and I think the orange and the green is very much a color scheme I like. You can see me doing it a lot in my builds. I really love oranges and greens in my homes. It brings in a lot of life and a lot of nature, but not too much. And I did add a little corner table over here. Maybe this is just like a little space where they have like coffee in the morning. If they don't want to go and sit in the big dining room, or they don't really want to sit outside, they have this little nice space here just to sit and have some coffee. And yeah, the dining room is a little bit of a trek away from this. You have to go through the main hall living space. But what I think that you can do, if you have the Parenthood game pack, you're able to place like, table settings on the dining room table. And apparently, if you have those set at all times, your Sims will automatically go to that table. They won't go to just anywhere else random before they go there. I think that's kind of neat. But yeah, that's the kitchen. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Got it done pretty quickly. And then we're moving on to, I want to say I'm moving on to this outdoor garden space here, I believe. Yeah, I am. I actually really liked how this was already. I didn't change it a whole lot. I got rid of the landscaping that was here, and I just recolored the flower boxes, moved some things around. I just added to it and made it a little bit my own. I just kind of moved some stuff around, made it a little bit simple, made the layout a little bit nicer, I think. I think it was kind of just random and just kind of like thrown together, which is probably what it was, let's be honest. And I did keep a lot of the original items. I just kind of moved them around a little bit, and I like it. It's nice. I really do like little private gardens like this myself. So it's a pretty cute little addition to this home, I think. And it being little Dennis's main space, I think is pretty nice because it's right there, right next to where his bedroom is. Yeah, he kind of has to walk outside to get to his room, but I don't know. I feel like that's kind of nice too. I feel like it's kind of nice to be able to separate that. And then I used these string lights from the recent update, I believe, from the Infants update. I believe that's what that came with. And they're these really fun little star string lights. I can imagine Alice maybe, getting them for Olivia, and Olivia was like really excited for them, and she was like, I want to put them outside at the garden or Grandpa's garden or something. I can just see that being a thing. And I don't know, maybe that's, can kids garden now? I'm pretty sure they can, right? If that's the case, then it would be so cute to have Dennis and Olivia doing some gardening together. I don't know. Maybe I should play with this family. I really like this family. It's just their house is so big. I don't like playing in big homes. So maybe if I play this family, maybe I'll move them to maybe a smaller home, possibly. I'm not really sure. Again, I do keep the same like ideas for his room. I just moved some stuff around. And that little milk can thingy you see like that in the middle of the floor there, that stays there. I forget about it because you know me, out of sight, out of mind, right? That's my ADHD, y'all. It just keeps me from remembering things, even if they're right in front of me. But I just wanted to kind of make his room a bit more neutral, a bit more, I don't know, just a different color scheme. I didn't like the bed that he had because it's that cheapy one. So I put in this nicer one here. Nicer meaning it's more comfortable, not style-wise. I actually am not a big fan of this style that this bed is. Don't really know what even that style is supposed to be perfectly honest. But yeah, I did more like darker wood tones in here, and I thought that looked a little bit nicer. Honestly, it just kind of made it a little bit more naturey in here, if that makes sense. Like the colors, like the greens with the browns, I don't know. It just gave a different vibe in here, and I actually really liked it. I thought it fit Dennis's like prerogative. Obviously, he's in like this tie and like cardigan, and it's just he wears black. But I'm just like, nah, I want to change that. So if I ever renovate, if I ever give these Sims a makeover, I'm definitely gonna make them match the ideas that I have in my head a little bit more. I did use the tool mod a little bit. You may have seen me using it earlier, but basically, I'm just using it to scale up these curtains a little bit more, like not, I guess, a little bit more specifically. So if you don't use the tool mod, that's fine. You're still going to be able to use these items the way they are, and they're still going to look this big. But basically what I did is I used the tool mod to scale the item, and I typed in 1.3 on the scale, and it made it just a little bit bigger. And I will say 1.3 is the perfect size to make these curtains here medium wall height curtains. So yeah, definitely give that a try if you're a tool mod user. His bathroom doesn't really match his vibe, I will say. I wanted it to just be very bright, but I love it because honestly, I didn't want to make it a beige, ugly bathroom. I really like bright colored bathrooms. So I went with this really bright blue, a yellow wall, just this white brick. I don't know. I like brighter, cleaner bathrooms, and I don't think it needs to match his vibe, quote unquote. I think that this is really, really nice, and I don't know, it's cute, and it's a nice bathroom because, you know, the bathrooms in this home were kind of atrocious. I'm not gonna lie, they were very interesting to look at, and this is much better. It's a much more of an improvement. Moving to the exterior a little bit, this. So yeah, it was supposed to be a pool. I bet you it was. They didn't have pools ready by launch, so they had to make do with what they had. I know for certain that that's what happened. I'm pretty sure because, in my opinion, I think The Sims 4. We all know about The Sims 4. There is actually a very interesting video essay by Izzy's? Is that how you pronounce their username? Izzy's? I think so. I'll leave it linked if I remember. But it's called The Disaster of The Sims 4. And she goes through everything with the history of The Sims 4, why it became the way it was. And it was basically them, attempting to, reuse assets from another game that they were developing. And I guarantee you they didn't have all the time to actually get everything ready beforehand, meaning pools, toddlers, the stuff that is supposed to come with the game. And so they had a pool, or maybe they planned on this home having a pool or something, but maybe they were still in early development with the pools, so they just kind of hit delete on that pool and then just filled it full of plants and just left it the way it was because they didn't have time to fix it. That's my theory, at least my game theory. But yeah, I fixed the wrong though, so I put a pool in here and it's very nice. I got rid of the awning too that was over the home, or over the balcony there, or balcony, what am I trying to say, the patio. I just didn't like it. I was like, I want more air, I want more space, I want more light. And I do add a little pergola over a dining table out here because you need that. You always need a dining table outside. Why wouldn't you not want to eat outside? But I used the pergola. This is actually added into the base game some time ago, not super recent, but recent-ish. We have a lot of items in the base game that were added in as updates, which is kind of nice, but I wish we had more when the game launched. But I will say I wouldn't say no to more items. Whatever happened to the SDX drops? Like, whatever happened to that? I feel like they did that for a while, and they still do it once in a blue moon, but it's been a minute since they've done one, and I'm like, is that feature just dead now? Are they just over with that, given that they aren't actually profiting off of the base game itself anymore? I don't think that they will be doing those because they're basically making updates for a game that does not, or at least outside of DLC, they are not profiting off the base game anymore because nobody's buying it because it's free now. So that's my little thought process about that. But I did a little fun colored table outside with those same chairs from the interior. I really liked that look. It looked really cute here, and it did take me a second to figure out a rug because I don't know. I wish we had more rugs in the base game. This rug, I was like, oh, this one will work. It just wasn't vibing with me. I don't know. Just there's so many rugs in this game. I can't. I don't know what it is. Like, so many rugs as in there's not enough. There's so many, but I don't like most of them. That's what I meant there. I feel like this house didn't have enough plants either. That's one thing I will say. With all these windows, with all the light, with all the room, put some plants. We need more plants in this home, y'all. So I do add a few planter boxes as well on this balcony too. I just thought it'd be kind of nice for them to have some flowers in or something. And then I put in some lounge chairs as well, which we did not have when we got pools or when the base game came out. We did not have these. I believe this actually came with Island Living, like the update whenever we got that. Is that true? I can't remember. I like that we get a lot of items added in as updates, but at the same time, I just wish, sometimes if it was just already the way it was. But I'm sure we all feel the same. Like, I wish that the Sims 4 base game was just already good when it was released. So, but to each their own, I guess. And I'm still playing it after, 8 years? How long has it been? I don't even remember. It's been 9 years, y'all. Wow. So yeah, it's a good game, I guess. But yeah, the house is coming along. I really like it. And this was all the easier part for me. It was getting to the upstairs that was a little bit more of a challenge, because the bedrooms are always hard for me, especially with like kids' bedrooms, because but I focused on just this upstairs kind of landing first. I made this into just a small little study nook. Nothing crazy, because I had to include another staircase leading upstairs, which I almost forgot. And you'll see me like place down items being like, la-di-da, I'm just furnishing. And then being like, oh, there's another floor I gotta remember to furnish. Yeah, forgot about that. How did I even think about putting in carpet in here? I will never know either. But I made sure to, add some more windows into that big open space there. I love how much light is in here. I'm so thankful that I put in more windows, because it brightens it up so much more. And you can see me here, forgetting to actually put in a staircase. So don't worry, though. I do add it very soon. I am having to take constant coffee breaks, y'all. I don't know. It's just, this is a longer video for me. We're getting there, but it's still a much longer video than I'm used to. I don't know. Do you all like longer videos? I do myself, honestly. I'm one of those people that I actually love a video being like 45 minutes to an hour long. I love video essays. I love watching like Drawfee. Oh my gosh. Can we talk about Drawfee for a second? I just love Drawfee so much. If you haven't seen Drawfee, please go consider giving it a watch. It's so much fun. Basically, it's just 4 people, 4 friends. And they basically sit and they draw together, and it's digital. So you get to watch them draw, and they just kind of talk in the background. And, sometimes they always have like a little theme or a little bit of a challenge to do. Sometimes they do speed draws together. It's honestly so fun and so charming and so wholesome. And they're amazing. I love them so much. So please go consider giving Drawfee a little bit of a watch, because oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with their content. It's so great. Is there any other media that y'all have been watching on YouTube? Do let me know, because I'm a YouTube watcher primarily, because honestly, I don't like watching new media or new shows. I feel like YouTube is my comfort space for some reason. Moving on to Olivia's bedroom. I did delete a lot of windows earlier in the build, so it was very dark in here. But I just felt like the furnishing was just kind of meh. I did not like it. So I did move around a lot of the objects instead of just buying new ones, because, that makes sense, right? And I liked it. I went with more of the brighter purplish pink theme. I didn't deviate from that too much. I did, however, brighten it up in here, because it was quite dark, and I really like a lot of light in my builds. I also did a really fun striped wall on the back behind her bed, and it feels like a kid's bedroom now, and I really like that about it. It feels like a kid lives here, and for me as a kid, I didn't have a, coordinated bedroom whatsoever. Like, everything was mismatched. Everything was cheap, hand-me-down, just stuff. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing at all. But what I'm saying is this is so far from my experience that I don't relate to it whatsoever, just because I'm like, I remember seeing like certain kids' bedrooms. I never really had friends outside of school, and I never got to go to their homes, so it doesn't really I don't really have a lot of experience. But my room was not at all like this. It was not well put together. I had a lot of stuff, I did, but it was not this. Like, for example, I had Looney Tunes, I think it was like curtains, like Looney Tunes curtains that my mom made, I think. And then there was a time when there was my mom is an artist. She paints. She's amazing. But she painted like zoo animals, is what I called it as a kid. Just different animals at the zoo all over my walls. And then I also had like homemade like quilts that my grandmother made. there's just a lot of stuff in my childhood bedroom that was very unique. And I had like a really old TV, like an old TV from back in the day, and I had like all of my stuffed animals. I had my Pokemon stuff. Like, I don't know. It was definitely a vibe in my room growing up, but it was very chaotic, but I loved that about it. Anyways, the next bedroom I'm doing right here is the bedroom for Vivian, the lovely mother of Eric. That's right. His name is Eric, right? Is it Eric? I can't remember. Oh, gosh. Yes, it is Eric. I remembered correctly. But I love Vivian so much. Every time I give her a makeover, I make her wear like really bright orange and yellow. She just seems like such a fun person. And I was going to go with a specific vibe here initially of just like darker colors. But I was like, no, she loves bright colors. She loves light tones. She loves things being fun. And yeah, I see Vivian being a very charismatic, very like, she's full of life. And for some reason, I need to play this family so much. But for some reason, I can see Vivian and Dennis being very good friends. Like they're grandparents to the same, little girl, Olivia. So I really want to play with this family and make it so that Dennis and Vivian are like the grandparents for Olivia, and they like take her everywhere together. They're like besties. They do everything together. I don't know. I can just see them being great because in my head, because I am just gay as hell and I can't help. In my head, I think that Dennis, I know, just hear me out. I know it sounds a little weird, but just hear me out. I want Dennis to be gay because maybe that's why he isn't married, because maybe he found out later in life and so he divorced Alice's mother. Maybe she just disappeared. Who knows what happens with Alice's mother? And maybe him and Viv are like besties and they're like the number one supports for each other. And I don't know. I can see a lot of potential with the storytelling in this family. And I don't know. That's one thing I will say. Even though the base game when it launched wasn't great, the original families, not the remakes of the ones we know and love already, but the original families that came with The Sims 4, like new to The Sims 4, I really like them. They're great, honestly. Like Katrina Caliente, for some reason, I love Katrina. The way that they did Dina and Nina, they did them so dirty. Let me tell you, they did them so dirty. I can't believe. But I love Katrina. She's cool. She's a vibe, honestly. And the pancakes, we do love the pancakes. Yeah, Eliza's a little interesting. She's a little peculiar. And then Bob is, he's Bob. We love Bob. But yeah, like there's just, I don't know. There's so many good ones that we do get. I don't even want to talk about the goths though. Like I'm just going to say this. I do think that when they released the goths, they weren't perfect. And when they made them over, they still weren't perfect. I do like that they made the skin tones a little bit more accurate to the original. I am very appreciative of that. I just feel like they lost a little bit of charm though. I'm not really sure. I guess because it was a change. I'm not sure. But I really liked how Bella looked already, but I really wish they would have just like given her a little bit of a darker skin tone and just maybe updated her looks just a little. I don't know. I just got so used to seeing Bella the same way, and then they changed it, and it's I don't know. It's just my autism. Okay, I can't help it. Oh yeah, I just totally talked through this upstairs area. But yeah, the upstairs landing space is just like an open art studio for Alice. I put lots of canvases everywhere, an easel, a computer. I just made it bright and very usable up here. I can see her being up here a lot. So maybe she makes a lot of money as an artist, and that's how they live here. That's kind of unrealistic, but you know what I mean. In The Sims, it's not, because you can make a lot of money from making paintings in The Sims. Let me tell you what. I was really avoiding the bedrooms at this point though, because weirdly enough, there's like another bedroom up here, and am I safe to assume that was supposed to be Dennis's? I'm not sure. I don't think so. I don't know, because like there's like I don't know which one's technically the master. I'm assuming the bigger bedroom, of course, but I don't know. I don't really get it, really. Like, I'm sure that, maybe they had separate bedrooms, Alice and Eric, but I don't know. So I just made this their master bedroom, and I made the other one a guest bedroom. Yeah, that makes a little bit more sense, I think. And I don't really know what vibe I was going for here, to be honest, because Eric gives me a little bit more, modern, simple, kind of not minimalist, but his vibes are a little different. Like, I feel like he's a little bit more, not corporate. That's definitely not it, because I don't think Alice would be with him if he was like that. Maybe he's a little bit more just contemporary, kind of traditional. But I kind of kept this bedroom just a pretty simple and neutral. They didn't have a ton of simoleons left like they did earlier. So I had to kind of take it easy. But I did give them this really fun bed from the base game. It's one you can unlock from the artist career. And it only has 3 swatches, sadly. I wish there were more. But it has a really fun, painting swatch on this blanket. And I was like, oh, I love that. That's so cute. And I went with, light greens and blues in here. And I brought that couch there. I thought it would be fun to throw on that green swatch just to kind of add a little bit of charm and just kind of bring that style up from the downstairs into here as well. And yeah, just made it very usable, very open and friendly and simple. Nothing too intense. Put some mirrors in here and some paintings, and just keeping it simple, because honestly, with a base game there's only so much you can do. But at the same time, when you're building a house, I think it's better to just keep it simple and keep it clean, because especially with a base game home, you can add more to it later on if you get more packs or anything like that. But I made this other bedroom here just a little bit of a guest room. Kept it very simple and plain. Nothing, I didn't want to put too much personality into it because it is a guest room. I did include a refrigerator up here. In my head, I can imagine it would be a mini fridge, but we don't have mini fridges in the base game, at least not yet. For some reason, I can imagine the Sims team is going to put those in the base game. They always add just random bits of gameplay and objects from packs into the base game, not really without saying anything either. They'll add those windows, for example. You remember that one tall window from Parenthood? They just added it into the base game randomly. Same with a ton of hairs from different packs. I don't know. It's nice, but at the same time, I'm like, what was the point? Just put it into the base game in the beginning then. But yeah, I just wanted to add a little space up here for coffee and, microwave food. Maybe it keeps them from having to go all the way downstairs, considering it is a 3-floor home. But yeah, that's kind of it for this renovation. Honestly, it took me a couple days. Oh, I forgot the bathroom. That's the next one. There is a bigger bathroom upstairs, which it has this really big jacuzzi tub, and I just got rid of it. I was like, I just want a simple bathroom, because to me, bathrooms, like I said, they need to be simple, they need to be bright, they need to be colorful, they need to be fun, because I hate beige, boring bathrooms. I think those are so ugly. I went with these really bright colored counters. I put a simple shower and a bathtub in here because I can see, multiple people using this. So I was like, why not? And yeah, I liked it. It was cute. It's a vibe, and I really, really enjoyed it. It's, bathrooms are kind of boring and whatever, but, got to make it fun at least, right? But yeah, that's pretty much it for this build, I think. It was a labor of love, I will say. I will have this uploaded to the gallery soon. Just keep an eye out. It will be under my username, Luca Owens. It is LuccaOwens, as well as the hashtag Luca, usually, if I remember. But yeah, if you really do enjoy these videos, do let me know in the comments down below which house you would like for me to do next. What are some homes in The Sims 4 that you always found to be quite just, interesting, to say the least, and you just want to zhuzh them up? Let me know what you think about this home too. Do you think I did it justice? Do you think that it suits the vibe of the family still? I don't know. Just let me know. It was a lot of fun. But that is everything. I love you all. Take care of yourselves. And yeah, that's it. Thank you all so very much for watching. Stay weird, and I will speak to you all next time. Goodbye, witches.